Hello, I hope all is well. In this video, I'm going to try these Derwent pastel pencils. And I was lucky enough to get these for Christmas, and it was actually a happy accident because I really been wanting the colored pencils that Derwent has. That's like a natural color set of like nature colors. And I showed it to my dad, and it was just sold out everywhere and completely back ordered. And so he was really sweet and he tried to get them for me, but it wasn't quite right. So I ended up with these pastel pencils, which is fine by me because I'm an artist who loves pretty much every medium. So yes, in this video we are going to try out these pastel pencils as well as this pastel mat and see how they work together. And I've never really tried pastels, so it's gonna be an unboxing, first impression, swatching / demo video. And I drew 2 landscapes, a portrait, and an animal. So there's a lot of variety there, and I will share my thoughts as we go. Okay, so one of my first impressions was that these colors are very vibrant and beautiful. I loved especially the range of blues. I thought the blues were stunning. And the paper, it kind of feels like sandpaper, and it feels like you're drawing on sandpaper, which is kind of cool and fun. And this is a very tactile medium, and it was nice to really get a lot of texture and stuff like that, and it's definitely not what I'm used to, so there is a bit of a learning curve for me, but so far that was my first impression. Then I would have to say my next impression would be that there was some breakability, and that was driving me a little bit crazy. Yeah, they just were a little bit sensitive, and actually some of the pencils came broken, unfortunately, which could be due to packaging when it was being shipped, or that's just how the pencils are. I'm not sure, but there is a little bit of breakability. It could just be it's a more sensitive medium, and maybe it's just a little bit more delicate. My overall favorite colors upon first impressions were crimson, pale ultramarine, cerulean blue, emerald green, burnt, carmine, and dark sanguine. In a previous video, I mentioned that I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of where I get my references from, and so this is a book that I thrifted, and I am taking a reference out of this one for my first demo, and I chose to do a landscape, and I chose this really pretty reddish paper because I thought it would go well with the greens and yellows in the color palette of the landscape. Okay, so this is the first artwork that I created with my Derwent pastel pencils, and overall I enjoyed it. It is definitely a very tactile medium, like I said before, so it's kind of forced me to let go a little bit more of details because I don't know how to explain it, but just the medium is just a little too soft to get super defined marks, and that just could be because I'm a novice. If you're more advanced, maybe you'd be able to do that. And I guess my next note is that the blendability was pretty good. I probably over blended at times, but yeah, and then I feel like it stuck well to the paper. I haven't tried it with any other kind of paper, so I'm not sure how it would perform on regular paper, but overall, I enjoyed my first piece. Here, I just wanted to experiment to see what would happen if I sprayed it with a little bit of workable fixative. Because the medium is so soft, there is like kind of chalk dust that happens. And so just to lock in layers in place, I wanted to see what would happen with workable fixative. And it does kind of, well, with this piece in particular, it did kind of like settle in and the paper kind of exposed more. So I guess, I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but what I mean is that more of the gray from the paper would come through and I would lose some of my colors and marks that I made. So I'm not entirely sure what the best way to set a pastel drawing / painting is, but when I did some research it said workable fixative, but I'm not sure if that's my favorite way. So if you have any tips, let me know. I think this octopus was my favorite to create out of the 4 pieces that I made in this video. There's just lots of fun colors in that one. I also love this landscape as well. And that is it for my first impressions. I hope you enjoyed watching and I hope you're curious to try pastels. Anyways, my next video, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a vlog situation because I'm working on a Year of the Fire Horse piece, because the Year of the Fire Horse just sounded like a really cool concept and I wanted to bring it to life. Anyways, I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.